Hey, Kas, welcome to the show.
Jason, thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Kas, I had a question for you. So you do a lot of obviously business formation and business advising in your legal practice. I wanted to ask you, what if an owner came to you and would say, Kas, I think my partner is doing something illegal, right? They're some type of monetary thing they're not very comfortable about. Maybe there's some fraud, there's some embezzlement going on. And they ask you these words, what should I do? What do you tell them in that situation?
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it's a circumstance that does come up sometimes. And I should probably interject here that in the ideal circumstance, any client should be absolutely honest and forthright with their attorney. There are some rules that I would normally put right in place up front with an incoming client that people should be aware of, which is that the attorney-client privilege is one of the most sacrosanct privileges under American law. As much or more even than your doctor. If you talk to your lawyer, they cannot go out there and tell anybody your business or the authorities or whatever. There is an exception. Under the rules of legal ethics, if you speak to your attorney or any attorney and they have a reasonable expectation of harm to you or to another party, they do actually have to report that. So everything this side of that, you should, you can, and in my opinion, you should tell them. Your attorneys will give you far better advice if they have as much information as possible. So pulling aside from, a client coming to me and saying, oh, hey, we're about to the bomb a building. We do have these issues come across our radar all the time where it's like, look, I'm uncomfortable with something that one of my partners is doing. That's any kind of business enterprise, partnership, corporation, LLC, whatever. It wouldn't necessarily be criminal activity. You may not know. In fact, it's interesting to have this discussion with you, Jason, because given what you do, your place sort of comes in a little bit later when in fact there's potentially criminal liability. That's right. I'm often in a situation of advising my clients, look, for any number of reasons, we may not want to get into the whole criminal context of this. Right. May not want to file a complaint. That's a situation where it very quickly gets out of your hands. It may not actually be criminal wrongdoing, just a discomfort, maybe impropriety is a better word. But first and foremost, this is a conversation that I am absolutely delighted and happiest to have with clients at the beginning, either when they're about to get into a partnership or forming a business, simply because there are all kinds of things that we can put in place in a business environment, buy-sell agreements, shareholder agreements, specific provisions within the operating agreement or bylaws, where if one partner is uncomfortable with whatever, there's a mechanism, an agreed upon mechanism for them to get out of it with as little drama as possible, and ideally a vehicle for getting their ownership interests back, or the value for their ownership interests. Why it's so important to put that in place up front is, I assure you, once you're in the context of an operating enterprise, and particularly if there is a concern about wrongdoing or impropriety, typically that also means there's a disagreement or a potential disagreement between partners. That is the worst possible time to be trying to get into an agreement about what the exit strategy should be like.
That's correct.
My corollary here, this is, any business is much like a marriage, right? And so it is far easier to negotiate a prenup on the front end when everybody's rosy. I mean, this will never happen, it's fine. Once you get into actual divorce proceedings, nobody's talking to anybody. And similarly, in a business context, that's not when you want to be doing this stuff.
Yeah, you're completely right. Because by that time, if someone accuses another person of something that is wrong, the first thing they're probably going to do is to stop talking to the other side. Right. And that makes it very difficult. And it's very important to have those things planned up beforehand. So, Kas, can you explain to us a little bit, when you're first advising a business, what are the things that you can kind of go through and what type of conversations that you have to kind to make sure not only of these issues don't happen, but what if like a company grows a lot? Like, what are the things that you kind of tell them about? Like, well, if it grows a lot, people might get kind of greedy. These are the things that you need to be aware of.
Right. All right. Well, two things. And if this sounds pat, it's because I probably say it to every single client that comes in the door. The one of my best out of the gate points of advice for clients is, look, you, client A, should get together with your partner or partners, and you should sit down without a lawyer in sight with a box of crayons or some pencils and a piece of paper, and you should just draw out what you think that business looks like from an ownership perspective. That includes, who does what, who gets paid what for doing what, and candidly, what happens if something goes wrong, right? That's a human discussion. Now, from a practitioner perspective, I can always offer potential suggestions for best practices of going forward. But really, in many cases, and arguably the best possible cases, my job is to put those agreements, those human business people getting together and deciding what happens agreements, I put those on paper in a contract so that 1, 2, 5, 10 years later, that's that everything's totally defined and fine, right? But in terms of coming up with those initial terms, well, what happens if something goes wrong? How do we get out of this? Do we at least the initial discussion is almost certainly more efficient. And I think it's a very much more human discussion that people really should talk about that. That's a good idea. I never mind being a part of that discussion, but I'll say to every client, it's more efficient if you all sit down, again, have a couple of beers, cup of tea, coffee, whatever, have this discussion, then bring me in. I can probably give some decent advice about best practices, but let's put it in place now. To your point about what happens when a business grows, it's a wonderful question, and in fact, an unusual question, because typically when a business is doing well, excellent growth trajectory, these issues tend to come up less.
Oh, that's good.
A bigger issue is when the business is not doing well, and it's a money pit, right? Then you start getting partners looking for specific reasons to get out. Why is it not doing well? I suppose the takeaway comment here, though, is that, again, going back to my marriage analogy, like any marriage, a business is just a relationship between people. And whether it's doing well or not, there is always, there are often circumstances where people need to figure out some way to disengage this partnership, this business, this shareholder relationship. And I can't overstate how ideal it is to try and work through those issues and create a plan up front versus trying to do it when there's already a crisis in place.
Man, Cass, I think the problem is too, like just like a marriage, people are very optimistic at the beginning of it, right? So
That's right.
there's a lot of things that, well, it'll never come up. I'm not going to talk about it, and it leads to issues further down the line, which can end up with a lot of more money and resources in terms of litigation because things aren't clearly defined.
That's exactly right. I'll say again, particularly on the business side of this, part of what we do in terms of offering advice to clients is necessarily we have to be efficient with our time. I will tell every client, there is no question that putting at least a baseline sort of umbrella structure for conflict resolution in place up front is almost invariably more efficient than if we get to a point later down the road where people aren't communicating, there's no talking going on, there may be legitimately impropriety, in which case people will at best get very defensive about it. Then we got to bring in potentially the authorities, an actual formal investigation,
Right.
defense counsel. And if you want to talk about legal costs, it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth investing time up front to kind of say, look, here's our protocol. And to your point, you're absolutely right. People wouldn't get into business on the front end if they weren't optimistic about the prospects. That makes sense.
Right.
The reality, half of all businesses fail within the first year.
No.
That's a reality. And
Right.
then, year 2, 3, 4, 5, if you're in year 3, year 5, you've probably got a pretty good chance of sustainability. But up to that point, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a crapshoot. And so again, how do you get out of that if it doesn't work? Not every, nobody has a crystal ball. And that's the other thing I say to clients, I can't possibly anticipate what might happen. But by and large, I've been doing this long enough that there's very little that I haven't seen. And most of these best practices really do work in maybe not 100% of the circumstances we see come in the door, but by far the majority of the time, what we're looking for is an exit strategy that works good or bad, in the circumstances that are controlled, that are defined, that were put there up front, that everybody agreed to, there's no mystery to it, and we're done.
Makes so much sense. So my last question is probably the most difficult question of the interview is, look, I went outside today, it was a little nippy, and I'm not looking forward to the cold weather. Tell us your favorite fall activity.
Well, I will tell you, I am a year-round kayaker, Jason, and if it's not frozen over, I will paddle it. So I have a dry suit, and as a matter of fact, I tell people, and they look at me like I have a second head growing out of my shoulder. If there is something absolutely mystical about kayaking in the snow, so I say, bring it on, bring on the winter. I'm all there.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming on today. Let's have you back again.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Jason. You're a rock star.